let's get ready for the walk. Get your chairs, get your weights, hop on your bike if you're biking, start your treadmill if you're treadmilling. And I didn't come down yesterday, so hey, Great Rod isn't y'all. Look at here. We pouring libations. Yes, indeed, do. For our ancestors, you know they coming. You know they here on the walk. They always been with me in my walking life. I just couldn't talk about it. I had to give that blonde haired, blue eyed guy credit for everything. So, maybe I should have brought him up. Yes! Cheers to the ancestors, y'all. Yes. I didn't give them too much because that's overproof. I don't want them to be all tore down when I need them for advice and shit. Hey, Great Rod is, and thanks for coming on the walk. Well, let's get this party started right. Oh, I got my backdrop for Kwanzaa. They kept telling me that it's a possibility that it'll be here. Y'all know me in the cameras. Y'all know I'm on. Y'all know I'm just, this old boy just using what has always been in her blood. Okay. I used to say, how do I know I could do that? You know? How do I know I can study? You know? So, I'm trying to move the cameras so y'all keep walking. I'm trying to move the camera so you can see my feet. Trust me, what I believe I'm saying, what I know I'm saying, I feel 100%. But you don't have to hear me. You can put on your headset. You can look at your TV. Every now and again, when your feet feel a little tired, look over here and say, look at that old Moore. Her feet is still moving. Now, I done told y'all, when you conquer people and you separate them through religion. The Moors were separated through Christianity and Islam. And at least we were somewhat emancipated, which is the Emancipation Proclamation Day when we've been walking for 2 years. So at least we were somewhat emancipated. But on that Islamic side, oh, nowhere. No emancipation, not even for women. Honey, I guess they both came through. Because, you know, this is all about men. And that's why cults is all about screwing. Because, like, a man would blow up himself just so he can be in heaven with 7 virgins. Now, depending on how old them virgins are, that could be hell. But then on the other side, with the Pope and Christianity, they used to be able to do that too. They didn't have to wait to get to heaven. They could screw every female in their family, and it was fine. Until the Lord got on them. That's why they hate everything about law and legislation. Um, Also, the Islam, you can still marry 500, 900 women and marry their children and everything. And Christy, over here, they used to be able to do that too. But the Constitution said no. No. We ain't doing that. See? But over there ain't no Constitution telling men that. Over there they said, screw as many women as you can get. And you know what got me also? There's a show on Netflix where the women left behind from all these bombers that was running around with Osama bin Laden running around and bombing and blowing themselves up. They left wives and mothers and stuff behind. And according to Islamic laws, they can't even work to take care of themselves. But guess what they can do? They can put themselves, they can go to the religious cult leader and say, I like to do that program they have where you're married for a month. You're married for a few days. They used to be married for a couple of hours, wink, wink. But then someone says, oh, that sounds like prostitution. But that's how they had to survive. So now your husband, your brother, your son, they going out there saying, whoa, capitalism is horrible. Let's blow them up. And you blow them up, and they don't even take care of you. They back here prostituting your family. But you see, that's all right because they in heaven with 7 virgins. I'm telling you. They better not be teenage virgins because they gonna be hell. I raised a teenage girl. Trust me, that ain't heaven. So, I mean, not having 7 virgins as the reason that you're dying for. But over here, you can beat a woman. Here, you can beat a woman. I remember, when I was younger, them Catholic women, they sported black eyes like we sport Gucci bags now. Maybe, yeah. Or should I say Gucci knockoff bags? And they was always wearing sunglasses when it was raining. And the Catholic Church said, listen, give them more sex. Leave your children here with me. Leave your boy children here with me. Give him more sex. What's a little black guy? Don't you see that man on that cross? He suffered. Your black eye don't mean nothing. Go back, open your legs and do what you're supposed to do. That's what you need colors for. So that's on this side. But what I'm saying is, when the Moors were broken down, powerful, mighty Moors, it took all of them. Let's say like when they ever get hold of Russia. I'll tell you what they're going to do to Russia. At the minute. That's why Putin needs to stop. He really needs to look over here at African American, or as I know myself to be more. Look how long. Look over there at Germany. Look what they did. So I'm going to tell you. First thing they're going to do is flood it because there is basically, from what I'm seeing, little or no mixed racing over there. I ain't see no brown folks running around over there. Could be. Just saying I ain't seen that. I ain't talking about visitors and stuff. 90-day fiance trying to get you a blonde-haired woman. I don't mean that. Oh, I tell you. Well, what they're going to do to Russia is crack it like an egg. And what cracks it like an egg? Religion. They are going to, I know they got religion over there their own way, their own fashioned way, but see, their religion now ain't stopping the war. Ain't stopping Russia from bombing Ukraine and nothing like that. So when they crack Russia like an egg, what they gonna do to keep it cracked is they gonna let all these cults come in. All these cults come in. All, And the Russian people think they're working for nothing now. Because remember, they can't get back together. So the whole thing is keeping them separate. So once they crack the Russian, they separate them right away. And like with us, like with the Moors, they're going to ship them out. They're going to ship them out. And if England has anything to do with it, half of Russia going to be in over there with Israel. Listen, they done brought back the desert. So when they crack Russia like an egg, that's how they're going to do. And though there's Islam over there and in Russia, but once the crack happens, it can totally take over. Totally. And that's how they do. So again, it worked with us. Crack it like an egg. So then there'll be the good Russians that are Islamic. And the bad Russians, which are Christians. And they'll never get back together. And then, like I said, they'll ship quite a few millions of them into the deserts of Africa. And they'll fight for Islam with the Palestinians against the Israelis. And no one will get back together for another whole movement like that. Like I said, it worked with the Moors. It worked with Germany. Okay? Yes! I tell you. So, that's how they do it. And they're not enemies with each other. They just know what works. I'm not even saying that it started with the Moors. It had to start a lot earlier. A war. What happens after you conquer a people? How do you keep them from ever getting back together to challenge you again? Religion, religion which separates, then you ship them out. I know those people over there in Israel look like, look a little dark, but when they started out, they were German people. They were all Caucasians. Blue eyes. But what's another thing that separates people? Interracial mingling. Now you go over there, they said they're Israel, that's where they came from, Jerusalem. That's it. And technically, when you look at it, ain't really no white people over there, not white people. And if they are, they're in charge. Oh, okay. They're in charge. And the mixed race brown skins are the workers. But that's okay. As long as they all just stay over there in Israel and not go back to Germany and try to get together and do it, it'll never happen again. So when African Americans, they say, oh, I'm smelling that overproof every time the wind blows. I am smelling that libation. Whew. Whew. I wonder if the ancestors getting as tipsy as I am. Whew. Good thing we're taking a break. That overproof is overproof. Like, comment, share. Tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend. Subscribe. Subscribe. Yeah, we're going to take a little break. This is when they bring the commercials in, and we're going to take the whole break, y'all. I need water. Take water in, let water out. The ins and the out. The outs and the ins. For some reason, I'm spitting today. Grateful for the water. Walking, yes indeed, I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. So happy to be walking, happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Walking, yes indeed, I'm walking, yes I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. So happy to be walking, happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Walking, yes indeed, I'm walking, yes I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. So happy to be walking, happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Oh yeah. I think they run commercials during this time. Somebody can slice me off a piece. Ain't like you don't have to do it for long. Yes, indeed. I got more wires on this floor. The New York City skylines. Is that a good way? All right, let's start. You only got 15 minutes. It's so fast. So quick. Yes. As long as you see my feet. I got my priorities. Whew. All right, I can take this jacket off. I was just so busy running around upstairs, doing dishes, making my breakfast, making my bed, blah, 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 before I even come down here. I tell you. Oh. So I'm excited about Kwanzaa. I remember, I haven't looked up, I'm quite sure Dr. Krenner. He said, and it was something that I was curious about for years. He said we start Kwanzaa at the end of Christmas because we don't want them thinking that we're gonna celebrate Kwanzaa instead of Christmas. Ain't that brilliant? Ain't that brilliant? Look at my backboard. And look at my backboard on Monday. Up! Up! But for him, wasn't that a brilliant move? He had to put something in place so when we come to that knowledge of only a conquered people can be enslaved. But then the next question to ask was, who were the conquered people conquering over? And for that, the lies start. So I'm glad it's here. So when this old Moore came through, this old Moore fought her way out. Ugh. Trust me, I wrote African American Theme Park. I did a lot of research. In the bowels of Schaumburg, in the bowels of the New York library system on Fifth Avenue, where they had to shoot things that suck back and forth. Hell, I went so many times I got stuck in the elevator. Sucked up everything. Except when it came to that part of the Moors. Couldn't understand that part. Because books tell you Islam. That's a lie. That's a lie. They're not a religion. So base. Scientists, creativity, all that stuff that's in our blood to this day. Not racism. It's the fact that they're trying to stop the inevitable. Let me use the example, the inevitable. When I first started walking and stuff, I tried to use songs that they said royalty free, duty free and stuff. And you contact the person whose music you're going to use from YouTube. And you say, I'd like to use your royalty-free music for my show that I walk on. And then because it's royalty-free, it means that you don't, so it's supposed to mean, but that's a Hatfield and McCoy. It's supposed to mean that it's free to use. No. Once you put in your request and they see the color of your skin, and they ain't royalty free no more. Because they ain't going to say, cool, go ahead. They're going to say you're using their stuff, though it's royalty free, without their permission. And because your skin is brown, now I know it's because you're more. And the objective is to make sure you never rise again. That's why you know what? I have to turn the camera at some point because as I'm talking to you, I'm looking at a poster my daughter put up. She said, and still we rise, love being black. It's all to stop us from rising. Ain't racism. You gotta be on and popping now. I'm not stopping you from rising. Don't stop me from rising. And I think the ancestors is doing good. They moving stuff. I found out that's why they ain't gonna let them white women have abortions anymore. Because they found out through the census that the white population, they say it. I'm censored on Facebook and YouTube and stuff like that. They say it them goddamn selves. Are less than 60% of the population in the United States. So the Hatfields and McCoys are going into overdrive, honey. They try to cut out the kids voting, making them damn near 50 before they can vote. Oh, them Hatfields and McCoys, they still stuck on keeping us down. See, their history was England pulled them out the gutters and out of the caves and sent them on ships with the conquered people. They ain't gonna tell you that in the history books. And I ain't gonna deny it no more. I'm near an exit ramp. I'm near an exit ramp, honey. Not an entrance. So, so that's how they got over here. They were COs. Let's see. Those southern states that brought in the captured people, they brought in the captured people and they brought in people to contain the captured people. And those are the Hatfields and McCoys. Their whole history and their existence here in the United States is as correctional officers over the captured people. And they don't want to share that. And how did I come to that? What they taught us in school was the Irish and the Scottish, they came over here because they had a potato famine. But there was chickens back then. They was on an island. There was an ocean full of fish. So much fish. How could those people be starving? How could they be starving? They wasn't starving. The true history while they was here is to be, you'll hear in the, on the tapes on Monday, they call them the patty men or the patty rollers. Yep. England emptied its jails to have enough people to come over here to start over again. You can get some land, but you got to make sure that these captured people stay enslaved. But they don't want to tell that history. They're like, oh, we was driven over here because we had a potato famine. No, they didn't have no rice back then. No, we had a whole ocean. But we didn't eat no fish. I know starving people eat anything. Even fucking each other. So why you wouldn't eat fish? Oh. No, I didn't mean, well, fucking each other. I meant to say. People have been known to eat people if they're starving. So you got a whole ocean, but you don't eat fish and you starving. So you get on a boat and you come to America so you can grow potatoes. No, you were imported as correctional officers over the conquered people. And that's your history. And that's your generation's history. And that's why y'all still doing it. But it's over. Give it up. We're not the conquered people. We're the generations afterward. And we're not conquered people. So y'all fitting ready to stop. And the only way to stop is to get rid of the Hatfields and McCoys. As long as they're in legislation, they are going to come after the captured people because that's all they know. And make moonshine. They're gonna do that. Well, this little walk is so fast, I can't understand why. I'm not saying that correctly. This walk is so fast, and it does so much as far as keeping movement. You know, like before I came on the walk, I did the dishes, took the clothes out the dryer, made my breakfast, got my clothes ready, emptied out my phones, because I used to get kicked out all the time. But that could be a more situation, you know what I'm saying? And it's like a spring. I'm walking slow, but once I'm off here, get on the computer, do whatever writing I have to do. If I have to run out, I run out. Okay, let's knock this out real fast. Squeeze your gut. Tuck in your elbow like you're pumping up a tire. You're just doing a little pump. Ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can't believe she said, oh, that's just so light. It ain't. Neither up nor down. Do it like you're doing a pump. Tuck in your elbow. Neither up nor down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, that's good luck. Whew. I might not think it's much, but when I have to lift my laundry, lift my pot, bring this down, move this, it ain't nothing for me. That blood is coursing through everything. Thanks for coming on the walk, ancestors, right? Hey y'all, hey y'all. Thanks so much for coming on the walk. Like, comment, share. Love yourself. Learn your history. Only a captured people can be enslaved. Remember that. The next question is, why were they captured? And we got Kwanzaa coming up. And that's why that old Moore, Maya Angelou, she said, and still I rise. She knew. She knew she was of a conquered people. Ha ha! Hey, I'm I'm going overtime. I know people who don't like to exercise saying, she went past the time already. Thanks for coming on the walk, y'all. Please like, comment, share. Tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend. Love yourself. Be good to yourself. Thanks for coming on the walk. And I'll see you tomorrow.